FDD and TDD, the structure will be different. We first talk about the FDD. For FDD, the time structure, the subframe, we don't separate it for uplink and downlink. So the time as such, the time is very large, it's very long. So we need first to define a basic time. In the network, in the radio network, the basic unit is 10 milliseconds. 10 milliseconds. Yeah. So this is a long time. This is a long time. So we will first divide the long time to many parts. Each part is 10 milliseconds. Like this. We will first divide it to 10 milliseconds, every 10 milliseconds. So the 10 millisecond is the biggest unit in LTE. It's the biggest. So we name this biggest unit is the radio frame. Radio frame. Radio frame. Also, you will see it, the system frame. This is the biggest unit. So in our network, when we talk about the unit cannot be the minute, cannot be the second. We use the radio frame. When we configure the parameters, the radio parameters, sometimes you need to find the timer. The timer is how many radio frames, like you say, RF. You will see many RF. Later we will introduce the parameters. You will see the unit is set RF. The RF is short of radio frame. That means the unit is 10 milliseconds. So this is the biggest. So for scheduling, the RF is too big. It's too big. So we need to divide it into smaller unit. So each radio frame, it contains 10 subframes. We will have the subframe. So the subframe, the time unit is 1 millisecond. So one radio frame, it contains 10 subframes. It contains 10 subframes. Each subframe is length is 1 millisecond. It's 1 millisecond. And after that, this unit is for scheduling. So for scheduling, we name it the TTI, the transmission interval. That means when we schedule a UE, when we allocate the resources, we use the TTI, we use a subframe as a unit. So how many subframes you will allocate to the UE? We use a subframe. Yeah, this is the TTI. It's a basic transmission unit. But we know when we transmit the data, the length is very short. So one subframe, it will carry many data. So we divide the subframe to slot. So one subframe contains 2 slots. So each slot is 0.5 millisecond. 0.5 millisecond. So in our network, we need number this unit. So for the radio frame, we will number it from 0 to 1023. It totally has 1024 radio frames. Yeah, we think it's a periodic. So the radio frame, the periodic, is 1024 radio frames. So the number is from 0 to 1023. So under this radio frame, it will have 10 subframes. A frame will number from 0 to 9. So each subframe contains 2 slots. So the radio frame totally contains 20 slots. 20 slots. So it's numbered from 0 to 19. Here, from 0 to 19. So each one is a slot. This one is a slot. So 2 slots is 1 subframe. It's 1 subframe. 10 subframe is 1 radio frame. It's a radio frame. Yeah. This is our time unit. So for slot, how many symbols is contained in 1 slot? Now it will contain some symbols. How many symbols is contained? Yeah. For the symbols we transmitted in LTE, the multiple access method is OFDM. So each symbol we call it one OFDM symbol. So in OFDM, the symbol we will add the CP. The CP is have 2 kinds. One is normal CP. One is extended CP. We short it for the NCP and the ECP. The CP is to protect. There is no symbol interference and carrier interference. The CP is protected. There is no symbol interference and carrier interference. So the CP, if the CP is longer, that means the cell radius it can be longer. If the CP is shorter, it means the cell radius it will be shorter. So according to the cell radius, the cell, maybe it's a macro cell, it's a micro cell, it's a small cell. For different cells, you will select a different CP. So usually we use normal CP. That means the CP is the cyclic prefix. So this length, it will decide how many symbols. So if a normal CP, we totally have 7 symbols. For the extended CP, we totally have 6 symbols. Because the CP is that when we transmit the symbols, this is the OFDM symbol. Actually, we only transmit this symbol. But this symbol like this is the UE side. This is the Inopi side. This is the Inopi side. So we know from the UE to the Inopi, this path, the path is not only one. This is the direct path. Yes. So the time is shortest. But we have buildings, and we have cars, we have trees. So it will generate many other passes. So for the reflection, like this. So it will have many paths. We name it the multi-path. The multi-path effect. So when we transmit this symbol, it arrives to the input B. It will receive 3 different kind of symbol, right? 3 different. So for example, this is the first symbol we transmit. So when it arrives at the input B side, this is pass 1, pass 2, and pass 3. Okay, at the time, the pass 1, the time delay is shortest. We think there is no time delay. We based on this time, there is no time delay. But the pass 2 compared with time 1, with pass 1, it will generate a time delay because the pass is longer, right? So it will arrive later. For example, it will arrive later like this. And the pass 3, it will also arrive later, like this. So when the input B receives the signal, it's the different passes mixed symbols, right? So this is the symbol 1. So if we want to transmit So this is symbol 1, and then we transmit a symbol 2. Symbol 2. So when it arrives here, it should be, this is the symbol 2, the pass 1. And the pass 2, pass 3, like this. Right? That's same. So let's see. If there is no gap between two symbols, when it arrived, the signal 1, some part of the signal 1, it will add to the signal 2, right? This part. This part, it will add to the signal 2. So the signal 1 and the signal 2, they are mixed. So the signal 1, we can think is an interference to the signal 2. So how to solve it? We can add a guard. We can add a time guard. So if we add a time guard, it can like this. This is signal 1. Before we transmit signal 2, we add a time guard. And then we transmit the signal 2. And we should guarantee this time guard is greater than the time delay. Here is the time delay, right? So if it is greater than the time delay, so the arrival is like this. So this is a type 1, the signal 1 arrived. Like this, arrived. So when it arrived, we transmit a guard. So we transmit a guard like this. And this guard is greater than the delay. So there is no interference in the signal 2, right? In the signal 2. But it will generate another problem is that. So in the LTE, we use OFDM. What is OFDM is that the orthogonal frequency division. So the orthogonal is based on the subcarriers. All the subcarriers, they are orthogonal because they are used different frequency. For the different frequency, they are orthogonal. But now, for this part, we can think the frequency is 0. So the frequency is 0. It will, when we receive. So this is the data. Okay, this part we can discard it. But we also leave some guard. So this guard, it will generate an infection to the signal 2. It's not a complete OFDM symbol. It adds some blank. So this blank, it will generate a frequency offset. It will generate a frequency offset. So it will affect the orthogonal. So in order to solve this problem, okay, how to guarantee the wave? How to guarantee the wave is also a complete wave? Okay, I can copy itself. This is I transmit this signal. So when I transmit signal 2, I will copy myself. And add it, okay? I copy myself like this. So I copy myself and add it in the front. So this is the CP definition. So it's a copy. So that is C. The cyclic, that is C. Because they are same, it's a copy. The prefix is I add it in the front of the signal. So when I transmit these two signals, okay, this part is myself. I can guarantee the orthogonal. So this is the CP length, right? If the CP length is longer, that means the symbol period is longer. So in one slot, the symbol number will be smaller than the normal CP, right? So that is why in the extended CP and normal CP, the numbers are different. So that is what is CP and why we add CP and what's the difference. So both FDD and TDD will have the same. For one slot, we have the same symbols. So in our network, we almost use the normal CP. We use the 7 one. We use this one. So this is for FDD. So every radio frame, the structure like this. And every radio frame we can use for uplink and downlink. We can use downlink and uplink. And in LTE, we know the maximum channel bandwidth is 20 megahertz. 20 megahertz. When we use OFDM, we use one key point is that we use FFT. So we need to sample the channels. For the 20 megahertz, we know how many RE it contains. The subcarrier is 1020. 1020. So if we use FFT, we should guarantee the sampling points. It should be like this. So the minimum value is 2048. So this is the sampling point. So the sampling point is 2048. And each subcarrier, that means the sampling frequency, subcarrier is 15,000. So we can get this is the sampling frequency. So the time unit, that is the period, is have a relation with the frequency, right? So the time, like this, the time is one frequency. Like this. So we can get that is the smallest time unit is TS. We use the biggest channel bandwidth to define the time unit because this time unit is the smallest. So if we use the 15 megahertz, we use 10 megahertz. The time unit is greater than it, so we can change it. Yeah, we can change it. For example, the 10 megahertz, okay, maybe the time unit is double TS. It's 2 times this TS. So for the 5 megahertz, it's maybe 4 times. So this is the smallest. So this is the basic time unit. So when we describe our hair, we set the slot and the symbols it is 1 millisecond and the 0.5 millisecond. This is one kind description. We can use millisecond directly. Another description is like this. Here are how many base unit. How many base unit? So sometimes if you want to check the standard, if you want to check the protocol, in the protocol, all the time, the radio frame or the subframe or the slot, it will be described by the time unit. What is the time unit? You should know. Yeah, this is for FDD. But for TDD, we know we need to define which is for. Okay, we need to define which is for uplink and which is for downlink. So it will have some different. For TDD, the basic is same. That is the biggest radio frame they are same. Each radio frame is 10 milliseconds. And we divide the total time to many 10 milliseconds. Yeah, these numbers from 0 to 1023, they are same. But for the subframe, okay, it's same, also contains 10 subframe. But for the 10 subframe, yeah, for example, this is one radio frame. It contains 10 subframe. This is a 10 subframe. So now we should define which subframe is for downlink, which subframe for uplink. This is the difference. We should define. So for example, if we define is downlink, we define this is the uplink. So we need to use a special subframe that is changed from downlink to uplink. We know for the uplink information for the UE, if we want guarantee the synchronization, the UE will always transmit the data in advanced tab, right? In advanced tab. So if we use uplink, we need guarantee before it will have some gap period. So we name this is a special subframe. So in FDD, all the subframes are the normal subframe. This is for FDD. But for TDD, it's also from 0 to 9 and 1 millisecond. But for subframes, we define it 2 cans or 3 cans. One is downlink normal subframe. Another is uplink normal subframe. The third one is special subframe. Yeah. So for the downlink or the uplink, they are same with FDD. It has 2 slots and each slot has 7 symbols in normal CP. They are same. These two kinds, downlink and uplink, they are same with FDD. But for the special, we need to change from downlink to uplink. So it has different slots. In the special, it's in the special subframe, it contains 3 slots. One is the special, it contains 3. One is the downlink. One is downlink slot. Another is the gap. The name is GP, the gap period. Another is the uplink. So we have the 3 slots. So how to define these 3? So at the normal CP, 1 slot has 7. So one special subframe will total have 14 symbols. So how to configure the symbols to the downlink, to the uplink, and for the gap? So we will have different configuration. So the totally for the 14 symbols, you can allocate 9 for downlink, 3 for gap, and 2 for uplink. You can also allocate 2 for downlink, 10 for gap, and 2 for uplink. So we can see that this gap, the function is similar with the CP to protect. There is no interference. Just the CP is protected. There is no symbol interference. For the gap period, we need a guarantee. There is no interference between downlink and uplink. So The functions are similar. One is to protect no LSI. There is no downlink and uplink in the function. Okay, these two. So this is one configuration for special subframe. And for the subframes, we also have the configuration for the uplink and the downlink. How many allocated for downlink and how many allocated for the uplink? For the subframe 1 and the subframe 6, we have already fixed it. The 1 and 6, they are special. 1 and 6 are special. And for the 1, it always be special. It always be special. For 6, for the 1 and 6 is special. Subframe. And 1 always be special. 6, yeah, it may be special, maybe downlink. Why I say that? It may be special, maybe downlink. Why I say this? Because that is, if there is a special, that means we have a change from downlink to uplink. We name this is a switch. So for the switch period, we have two counts. One is 5 milliseconds, one is 10 milliseconds. So if the switch period, the downlink and the uplink, switch period maybe 5 milliseconds, maybe 10 milliseconds. If it's 5 milliseconds, that means we need two special. So 1 and 6, they are the special. But if we use the 10 millisecond, period, so we only need one switch. So this switch should be one. Only one. The 6, at this condition, it should be the downlink subframe. So you can think how to configure it. So if we use 5 milliseconds, that means 1 and 6, they are special. So the special, that means changed from downlink to uplink. So before it should be downlink, after should be uplink. So here before is downlink, after is uplink. So can you configure the third one and the first one? Number 3 and number 4, number 8 and number 9. What is used for downlink or uplink? So these things are fixed. Downlink, special uplink. Downlink, special uplink. So it's 5 millisecond period. So usually the first period is saved with the second. So here we totally have how many counts selection. They can be uplink, right? They can be uplink and downlink. They can be downlink and downlink, right? We have three choices. This is for the 5 milliseconds, but here is same with the first one. The uplink, downlink, like this. It is, if we want to change from downlink to uplink, we must use a special. But we change it from uplink to downlink, we don't need to use the special. Because the UE transmit data, it should be sent in advance. But the node B, it don't need in advance. So there is no gap. From uplink to downlink, there is no gap. But from downlink to uplink, it should have the gap. Yeah, this is. So this is the 5 millisecond. Okay, so usually we will set the downlink and the uplink, the configuration is 3 1. S3 1. That means, yeah, the subframes number for downlink and uplink is 3, 1. That means 3 for downlink, 1 for uplink. This downlink, special uplink. Here is downlink access. Because in our network, many services is the downlink service, right? One service is downlink service. So we should configure more resource for the downlink. Yeah, so this is our network configuration. S3 1. S3 1. This is our network. So you need to remember this because our network is like this. So I have one question. We know for TDD, we have 20 megahertz, right? Bandwidth, we have 20 megahertz. For example, because for TDD we have 2 frequencies, right? Yeah. So for example, for the frequency 1, of TDD, I have 2 cells. This is cell 1 and this is cell 2. Can I configure the different downlink and uplink configuration? For example, cell 1, I configure is 3, 1. For cell 2, I configure it 2, 2. It's okay? It's okay or not? Can I configure the different downlink and uplink configuration?
Okay. Cannot.
Okay. So who think is cannot? We cannot configure the different. Who think is cannot? So the rest is okay? Or the rest is okay? Or they don't know? Okay, who think we can configure the different? Okay. 2 people think is okay. 4 people think we cannot. Okay, the rest are don't know. Okay, so why you think is cannot? Oh, Wanda, why you think is cannot?
How to say in English? Yeah? Because we configure that it not be ya. Sorry.
Ini di physical layer ini not be.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay, our husband Johnson. Our husband. Why do you think is cannot?
I'm thinking because they interfere to a point, they interfere with the downlink and the uplink.
Yes. It will generate the inference between the downlink and the uplink. So you too think it's okay. We can configure 2 different configurations. We can try it as well. Yeah, don't say it's right. We cannot because you can write it down. You can write it down. Now here. Okay, you write down the different configuration. 1 is 3, 1 is 2, 2. Okay, here is. So at first, this is 3, 1, right? If 2, 2 is right, I said this two cell, I draw is the neighbor cells, right? And they use the same frequency. So which subframe will generate the conference? Which subframe will generate the conference? We can see the same frequency at this subframe. For this cell, it's downlink. For this cell, it's uplink. At the same time, right? We know it's for TDD. At the same time, you only transmit one direction signals. So if you configure two different configurations for the same frequency, yeah, the premise is that the same frequency, it will generate the interference. It will generate the interference. And the interference, it will be very large. It will be very large. So when we configure, we should guarantee the same frequency in the continuous carriage. We should guarantee the configuration be same. The same. So if these two cells, it belongs to different frequency. One is for frequency 1, another is for frequency 2. It's okay, because the frequencies are different, right? But if you should guarantee the time configuration is also same. Yeah, this is for the TDD. This is for TDD. It's different with FDD. The TDD, it have a strictly require. It have a strictly require for the time. But for FDD, both uplink and downlink, you can use the same subframe because the frequencies are different. But for TDD, you should make sure the same frequency, the same time, same frequency, same time configuration. Okay, this is for TD. For TDD, different. The TDD different. So the radio frame structure is basic in our system. If you want to schedule the resource, you should first know how to schedule in time unit. But we also in the frequency unit, yes? In our network, we have the 20 megahertz or we have the 10 megahertz. For FDD, we have 10 megahertz, right? So we have different resources. So how to schedule the frequency resource? We also need to define the frequency unit. So for our symbols we transmit, we have many different kinds. We have the reference signal, and we have the control resource, the control information, and we also have the data information, have the signal information. Some message, the volume is large. Some message, the volume is small. So we should use a different unit, such as if you want to make a plan for your work, maybe you make a month plan or day plan. But if you want to check for one day, you want to check your work, you need to use over a minute, right? So for different things, you will give it a different unit. Also in our network, we will give it a different. So we have so many. So for RE, this is for the smallest resource unit. The smallest means all others is consist of RE. Consist of different number RE number like this. So this is the basic. So RE in frequency in 20 megahertz, we will divide it into many different subcarriers, right? For 20 megahertz, it totally have 1020 subcarriers. So this is frequency, right? In frequency.
Iya. 12.
Okay, this is our resource. We have two. One is time domain. We have two domain. One is frequency domain. In time domain, we have already divided it into symbols, right? For example, this is one subframe. So we have divided it into two slots. Each slot we divide 7 symbols like this. Yeah, this is the time. We have already divided it by the symbols. And also in the frequency domain, for the 20 megahertz bandwidth, yeah, we will divide it into subcarriers. The subcarriers we define it. Yeah, we totally have 1,200. Yeah, for different. If 10 megahertz is 600. For different megahertz, it will contain a different number of resource subcarriers. So each subcarrier is 50 kilohertz. 50 kilohertz. This is in time. In time, this is one symbol. In frequency, this is one subcarrier. One subcarrier. So we have many little grid. Yes, many small unit. So this is the smallest unit. This is a basic unit. So this basic unit is 1 RE. That means in time domain is one symbol. In frequency domain is one subcarrier, like this. It's 1 RE. It's 1 RE. So we will transmit some reference signals. These reference signals, the number is very small, so we don't need to use the big unit. So we use the smallest unit, RE. This is RE. And for the data service, the data volume is large. So if we use the RE, the indicator will be very large. Indicator we will have, when we allocate the resource, when we schedule the resource, we will give it an indicator, okay, which resource you can use. So if we use the RE, the indicator is too large. It's from number 0 to 1,200. So how many bits it will use? So many, yes, it's too large. It's too large. So we will use RB. So first is the RE. Second is the RB. So RE is only for some special signal, such as the reference signal. For RB is for the service. When we transmit data, we will use RB. So all the service channel, we will use the RB. That is the resource block. So the resource block, how many RE it contains? Okay, here it shows 1 time slot. That means in time, one slot is 0.5 millisecond, right? So this is time. In frequency, it's 12 subcarrier. So for 12 subcarrier, one subcarrier, the bandwidth is 15 kilohertz, right? So actually it's 180 kilohertz. So this is 1 RB. In time is 0.5 millisecond. In frequency is 180 kilohertz. This unit is greater than the RE. And you can calculate how many RE. When we schedule the UE resource, we will use RB. But when we transmit the data, each packet, it actually mapped to each RE, right? So actually, when we sometimes we will calculate the bit rate. So how to calculate the bit rate? You should know how many RB you use. Each RB it contains how many RE. So each RE, how many bits it contains. So that is how to calculate the bit rate. So this is a basic. Okay, for the RB. And another is that we not only have the service channel and the special signal, we also have the control channel, the control information. The control information is different from the service. The service usually the data volume is very large. The control information is not very large as the service, but it will be greater than the RE. So we use the different. We use REG and CCE. REG and CCE. So for REG and CCE, these two are both for control. Both for control. But it's for different control information. It's used for different control information. So for the control information for the REG it contains 4 RE. Every 4 RE is 1 REG. Every 4 REG. And the CCE, that is non-REG. Non-REG is 1 CCE. 1 CCE. So that means this control information is less than the CCE, than this control information. So our control information will like the hack indicator, just like the 0 or 1. Yeah, just ACK or NACK. It's very, very short message. So we can use this. And for the control information, we also have the PDCCH, the scheduling information. It will have the indicators and the transmission format, which format you should use, and the MCRs like this. It contains many control information, so we should use the CCE. So for different control information, we use different. Yeah, we use different. Another is that the file is RBG. The RBG is RB group. RB group. We know for the service, we will use RB, but maybe it will allocate many RB for you. So we can use the RB group. We can use the RB group. So the RB group, it will contain several RB. Several RB. Okay. So this is the basic unit. So if you want to know how to use the unit, before we should first know the channels. So for different physical layer channel, the physical channels, it will use different unit. So this is for physical resource diagram. That is assigned in the time domain. Okay, we divide it into the symbols. In the frequency domain, we divide it into subcarriers. So in frequency, 12 subcarriers. In time, is 1 RB. But actually, when we talk about the RB in the bandwidth, use it for the frequency. So when you set 1 RB, that means you talk about the bandwidth is 180 kilohertz. So for example, when we talk about the 20 megahertz bandwidth, usually we will set is 100 RB. We will set is 100 RB. And also in our configuration, when we configure one cell, the configuration is also use RB, how many RB. And when we allocate the RB for the UE, we know. When I introduce the time unit aside, the scheduling time is 1 millisecond, right? So 1 millisecond actually is 2 RB, right? It's 2 RB. So actually, 1 TTR is 2 RB. This 2 RB, we name it 1 PRB. 1 PRB. That is 1 pair of RB. That is PRB. So this is the PRB because we introduce in time is 1 unit, but the frequency is 1 RB. So how many RB you allocate for 1 UE? That means in bandwidth, because the time is 1 TTI, right? It's 1 TTI. The transmit unit is 1 TTI. So if you give it more RB, that means the bit rate will be larger, right? The bit rate. So when we talk about RB, usually we will use RB instead of the bandwidth. So if we want to know about the physical layer channel, we should first know all the channels between the different layers. So for the different layers, from the PDCP to the RC or to the MAC layer to the physical layer, we use different channels to transmit the packages, to transmit the data. So from the RRC, this radio link control layer, the RRC layer, to the physical layer, we will use the channel. From the PDCP to the RRC, we use the SAP, the service access point. We use SAP to transmit the data. So the channel is defined from RRC to physical layer. So from RRC to MAC layer, if the RRC transmits the information to the MAC layer, for this procedure, we name it use a logical channel. So the logical channel, we define it by the information it contained. And from the MAC layer to the physical layer, the information is transmitted. The process is the transport channels. And from the physical layer to the physical layer, to another end of the physical layer, is the physical channels. So we can say the MAC layer is in the middle. It means MAC layer, it will support the transmission to the upper layer. And it will support the transmission to the low layer. So it's in the middle. So for the control channel, for the logical channel is defined by its information. So our information in the totally contains two kinds. One is common, one is control, one is traffic. One is control, one is traffic. So in the logical channel, it's totally contains two kinds: the control channel and the traffic channel. But the control channel, we have many different kinds. We have many kinds of control. The control information, we have the broadcast, we have the paging, we have the common control, we have the dedicated control, like this. We have many. And for the traffic, we have the data traffic, and we also have the multimedia traffic. But we don't use multimedia traffic. We don't deploy in our network. We are not deploying the multimedia, so we don't talk about that. So the logical channel is just defined by the information is transmitted. If this information is the paging, okay, it's transmitted by the PCH, that is the paging control. It's a paging control information. So it's by the paging control channel. If it's a broadcast, okay, it's use the broadcast control channel. So all the channels is defined by the information. So it's a logical channel. And for the transport channel, from the MAC layer to the physical layer is by the method, it's transport method. Okay, I use a dedicated channel, or I use the shared channel to transmit. In the MAC layer, it will define how to transmit. Okay, so this is defined by the transport format. This channel, by transmit the format, and for the physical channel, it's the actual channels. It's a real resource. So different channel, it will have different resource, actual resource. So these three channels, the logic, the transport, and the physical, you can think the logic channels is what? what information you transmit is what, and the transport is how to transmit the information is how. The physical channels is where in our that's like in the transport, in the real transport. Yeah, we have many different cars. We have the different cars. Sometimes it's defined by the information it contains. Maybe it's contained as goods. It's maybe it contained as fruits. It's maybe it's people, right? It's people. So for different kinds of information, we will define the car a different name, right? We will give it a different name. So this name is defined by the information, by the content it contains. And after that, how this car running on the road, we will define the car another name, because sometimes it may be used the public channel. Maybe it will have some dedicated channel, such as the train. It has its own channel, right? It has its own resource, so it has a different name. So this is how to running on the road. We give it a name. It has a different name. And after that, the road is actually resource. So the road has a name. So only the road is a real resource. All others is not the road. So here are the logical channels, the transport channels. So this is the information. This is how to transmit. It's not the real resource. We just want to simple the information. We give it a name. This name we use the channel, but it's not the real channel. Only physical channels are the real channels. Only this one is the real channels. Okay. So the physical channels we have so many for different. It will have a mapping from the logical, from the transport to the physical channel. So in the afternoon we will introduce the physical channels. Okay.
What is information? How to information and where to the information go?
Siapa nih kata kemana?
Iya, gua ingetnya sehari paling besok lupa lagi.
Siapa?
Eh,
Sekarang.
Kalau penuh nggak biasanya? Penuh nggak?
Enggak?